Hey, all you zealots and zerglings out there, it's time for a 3 versus 3 for you. Oh, look at that lovely split right there. This is on a map that you've never seen before, well, unless you were actually in this game, but they didn't see it. They lived it, man. They lived it. Anyhow, this map is called Duran's Baneling. It's a map of my own design. There is a cultural reference behind the name, and 300 points is yours if you can identify it. And actually, some of the map design was kind of built around it too, but that's not really going to be a hint because it probably won't help you figure it out at all. Now, we'll get back to the map here design in a second, and I'll tell you who's playing this game. I've spawned as the purple Protoss. In fact, we all decided to be Protoss this game. We had an all-Terran matchup previously, but now we've got all Protoss, and my allies are Contrarian, the red Protoss, and Spartan, the blue Protoss. Our opponents are Wolfpack, the light gray Protoss, Mike, the yellow Protoss, and Dunamai, the teal Protoss. And now I know it's pretty clear that in this 3v3 setup you can only spawn cross positions, yet he's going to scout up here anyhow, or maybe he's going to throw in a secret fast expand. And I believe Contrarian was going to try to cannon rush. It doesn't look like that's going to work out well for him. Yeah, he is trying to get the forge up, but it looks like his probe is going to get run out of there. I guess Wolfpack was watching for it, and he does cancel the forge and switch to a gateway build. So maybe not too much loss there. Maybe some time though. Maybe lost some time, but that's okay. Anyhow, in this map, it's a 12-player map, so it's suitable for 6 versus 6 if you happen to have that many people lying around. Or, we have 3 versus 3 like we have here. Or if you want, get real crazy, you could do a 3 versus 3 versus 3 versus 3. Now, so obviously, if you can have that configuration, the bases are kind of set up in pods of 3. So you got your 3 allies all grouped here together, and if you go down your ramp, you've got a mutual ring where you've got 3 natural expansions, and watch out for this pit here, don't want to fall in there, that would not be good. And a pretty wide ramp to defend. But you got 3 people there, so you better be able to defend it. Now, in a 6v6 configuration, it's going to be sort of an east versus west, so your ally, if we had allies in this, would they be south of us? But we're obstructed from them with 2 sets of destructible rocks. So if you need to reinforce your allies, you got to break down both of these sets of rocks. Otherwise, you've got to come down your wide ramp up here to the center of the map, down this side, down over here, and then that's how you reinforce. But also, if you do destroy these rocks, you also open up a direct path to the center of the map. So you may be able to reinforce your buddies, but you're also opening yourself up for another attack path. Now you saw the center of the map, we have 4 high-yield expansions. Each one is half blocked by these rocks. You cannot mine this half of it without breaking down these rocks. It's a design I came up with in another map, and I kind of like it. And a couple of watchtowers watching over the center. Now they're not really watching over these expansions because frankly you could just kind of walk over there and check. But they're mainly watching over the center, so you can see what's coming through here. As you can see, this Wolfpack probe is watching everything coming through the center, and also watching these other attack paths to see if anyone's going to or from them. So that's kind of the basic layout here. Oh, and we also have, in a 6v6 mode, you've sort of got a mutual expansion down here that you can share. And between the east and west halves, we have these. No rocks here to destroy, but they're also right between Scylla and Charybdis here, so no reason to make it any harder. You want to be able to mine those out as quickly as possible because they're going to be really hard to defend, and you've got to go all the way down this path and up here, or at least here, in order to get to them. And we got all sorts of vision blockers around the map, but that's not important right now. Let's get back to the game. Throw up the production tab, see if you guys can see anything interesting. Looks like we're just getting some unit production from here. Contrarian, the warp gates are almost done. What have I got? I'm just starting to build an army. I've got 3 gates, and I'm getting a Twilight Council. So probably going to get either charge or blink. Spartan is, what is he building there? Getting another gateway. So it looks like he's 4 gate right now. He needs to make that into a gateway. And none of us have expanded. If any of our allies or our opponents expanded, it looks like Mike is just starting to put down an expansion. But he's the only one on their side so far. And we were getting Immortals, which, oh, that's right there when Duran in open chat said, I'll go Immortals. And I'm like, alright. So basically the counter to this is probably Zealots, which I believe once I saw that, I decided to go a little heavier on Zealot building than I usually do. But we already do have a decent amount of Zealots here, I guess. Oh, we got Charge coming out for Wolfpack. So he's going to get himself a little charge lots there. That's just a pylon there. And is he getting... oh, wow, that's some pretty late Warp Gate technology. I mean, even Contrarian's got Warp Gate technology already, and his gateway was late because he was trying to cannon rush. Oh, and we're getting a expansion down here for Duran. So everyone's just kind of building up their forces now. Maybe we speed this up a little bit. And you see, I've got quite a few Zealots here. Less Stalkers, like I said. I saw him say he was going Immortals, which I guess you can never believe that. He could have been putting that in open chat just to fool around. Now I'm getting charged for my Zealots. Looks like it wasn't that far behind Wolfpacks. Pylon at the front just for quick reinforcements. And it looks like they are moving out. Center of the map, so we got, you know... oh, and we're getting... Contrarian's getting Blink and a Dark Shrine. So he's going to go for Dark Templars and Blink Stalkers. Might be a bit hard to fund that, but you know, you never know. Oh, and we're getting... Wolfpack is getting Psystorm, so he does have Templars out on the map. At least I think he has There's some Templars. So that could play a big role there. We check the army size. And we are 120, 170, about 180, and they're about... oh, they're a little bit ahead of us. Oh, do we have an engagement? Oh, no, they're just kind of scouting around and... not sure what they're up to. Maybe scouting the back door. Just kind of poking and prodding. Oh, here comes some Dark Templars. Let's slow this down. Yeah, and they have no observers here, so these Dark Templars are going to be able to do a lot of damage. You really want to, I think, focus on the Immortals, because those are probably going to be the biggest problem for us. So they're going to... this army's trying to run, but where are they going to go? Where are they going to go? And he is just completely making a mess of this. And they still don't seem to have an observer coming. No Terrans, so you can't throw down a comsat. And they're trying to catch up. I think I must have taken a peek at that and saw all the fun he was having destroying it. They have anything here, no cannon here, no observer here. Yeah, I'm watching. They're careful for an observer, and they're still destroying. I want to get those Templars. Oh, and they did get... there's the observer. Okay, so they're going to finally clean that up. Would have been nice if he had a chance to take out some of those Templar, which were they... oh, well, he did get 2 of them out there, so that's not bad. And maybe did he... no, there's a couple of Templar in there. I don't know if he got any of those or not. We'll check the units lost. And yeah, Contrarian's lost quite a bit. Dunamite's lost quite a bit too. He must have taken the brunt of that Dark Templar attack. And the Templar are going to go home now, as they have done their job. And oh, we get... I guess Wolfpack was going to throw out a secret expansion, so that's why he sent that probe there. Maybe it wasn't to scout. So I might speed this up a little bit again, as there seems to be nothing going on. These guys are kind of scouting around, I guess. We're massing at the door. See, we got a lot of Zealots here, so I was trying to go a little more mass Zealot, but then I realized we still have a lot of Zealots, so maybe I'll just kind of go halvesies. I even got a pylon down here, because I'm running out of room around my pylon up here, so extra pylon there, plus kind of reinforcements in this direction if I need them, and I'm not sure where these guys are up to. I'm going to grab the watchtower if you're going to hang out there. Oh, looks like we're scouting around, but he didn't see this base here, hiding back in the corner. And massing lots of Zealots. Oh, now we're getting Archons. So Zealot, Stalker, Archon, Immortals. That's absolutely crazy. And now those are just some workers. What are we massing here? I guess he's trying to take out those rocks. He's a little bit out of range for that. What do we got there? Oh, observer just scouting around. 2 observers scouting around. You don't need your 2 observers right in the same spot. It's kind of a waste of an observer. Oh, It looks like they're moving out again. We'll slow this back down. Oh, they're going to take out those rocks. Get ready to take a third. So just kind of macroing up, jostling for position. Wow, really cannoning up his expansion. But he is out here on an island by himself. And yeah, he's put a lot of pylons there. So you might want to be careful and make sure that doesn't go down. Because that is a lot of juice there. Although he is maxed out on his size, so it may not be that big a deal. Oh, are we going to get a confrontation here? That's a lot of immortals. Well, they got one armor upgrade, but they have no attack upgrades, and their attack upgrades scale ridiculously, I think. Well, what do we got going on here? Oh, we're taking out the back door. Nobody's watching this. Oh, Contrarian does have some High Templar of his own. He's a High Templar and Dark Templar? That's crazy. So these immortals will just destroy those rocks, believe me, I know. Well, I mean, when I'm testing these maps out, that's what I usually use to break down the rocks when I need to. And he's trying to get some Desperation Stalkers in there, and at the same time we got an attack going here, so a two-pronged attack, and I guess I figure I better take care of the back door, because we don't want them in the middle of our base, but we got a lot of units in here, and these Templar aren't doing anything. Oh, he's going to throw an Archon together, which they're not focusing it down, so they can do quite a bit of damage if we don't clean this up first, which it looks like we might. But it looks like Contrarian is going to lose his Stalkers out here because I had to abandon him to protect his expansion. I had to abandon Contrarian to save Contrarian. Go ahead and figure that one out. Put that one through your noggin and see what's going on. Oh, and that was ill-advised of these Stalkers. They thought, well, we took out that army, let's just move on forward. I don't know if he didn't realize the attack going on here, or he didn't realize it was wiped out, or how many units we had, but that was very ill-advised. Just because he took out some Stalkers, he got a little bit ballsy. Can a Stalker get ballsy? I don't know. Oh, and we're pinging over here. It looks like we have spotted this expansion. Haven't even seen this one yet, though. And he's putting double forge here. Triple forge. Well, that's interesting. Is he going for triple upgrades and a dark shrine? Everyone's getting a dark shrine but me. We got a dark shrine over here anywhere? Oh, we do have a bunch of idle probes. And his expansion. He's still got stuff at his expansion, but he probably could use some expanding soon. Oh, I guess I still have the units lost up, and it looks like Contrarian has lost a lot. Dunamai and Mike have lost a decent amount. I have apparently lost nothing. How could I have not lost anything? I find that very difficult to believe. Is this thing like not refreshed? I mean, I was in the middle of that battle and I lost nothing. So there you go, folks. 20 minutes into the game, I haven't lost a single unit. I think that warrants some sort of prize, don't you? Oh, and they got some cannons to take care of, which they do get a little bit of bonus damage against them. I need that Archon in there, absorb some of those blows. Archon can't seem to get in there to shoot, even with the range upgrade. Well, we got a lot of movement out here, but we're about to hit Stalkers. Are going to fall right in the middle of this army. Here come my units. I think I'm about to lose some units now. My Zealots are going to charge in there, and oh, that's actually my Immortal. Where's my Immortal going? I think I threw down a Robo. I needed to throw down some other tech structure, I felt, and so I'm getting some Immortals in my army. Oh, and I lost 2 units. I lost a couple of Zealots there. That's unfortunate. Oh, and we got some Colossi here for Dunamai. I don't know where they snuck in from. They certainly didn't sneak in from here, but it looks like... Oh, this is pretty bad choke. And look at all these Immortals. I need a lot more Zealots here. Well, let's check the income tab while we're at. I'm going to blink in there. I don't know if that's the best idea. I need to get my Immortal in there too, but we are thinning it out. Focus down the Colossi. Now we need to focus down the Immortals, which I'm not sure which one is the priority there. The Immortals do a lot of damage, but the Colossi do a lot of splash, so I'm not sure what was the bigger threat there, but they are cleaned up, and now it's just Stalker on Stalker, and I do have better numbers and better upgrades. I got 2-1 Stalkers, and he had 0 upgrades. And this Stalker's going to sit here and kind of shoot at that photon cannon all by himself. And some Zealots moving out for Contrarian. I'm trying to rebuild a little bit of my army here, which I got a ton of resources. As usual, I have way too many resources, and this Warp Prism is going to get those probes out of there. Oh, is he going to get away? Oh, and it goes down with all probes aboard. I gotta give that Stalker medal. He just took it upon himself to say, no, I will not let anything survive. And we got an engagement over here. Zealot on Stalker. I think the Zealots are going to win. Plus, they have a 2 attack. With no upgrades on these Stalkers. I don't know if these Stalkers will cinch it right here. The Immortals are going to help a little bit. Well, not unless they're shooting at the Stalkers. The Zealots will just eat up the Immortals. So like I said earlier on, the Zealots are the counter to Immortals. Well, if you call it a counter, but they do a little bit of damage. Yeah, right there. Right now they do 10 damage, which is exactly how much an Immortal shield takes. So it's basically completely nullifying the hardened shields. And any more attack upgrades are not going to be effective against the Immortals, but they've got enough right now. So they're going to fire up the back door. It looks like we have cleaned up that second expansion. So the expansions for our opponents are done, and I'm getting an expansion up my own because, you know, I don't have enough resources, obviously. Although my main is mined out. And why do I only have 2 units on that assimilator? Well, that's embarrassing. I brag on so many people for not having enough units on their assimilator, and I am no better. So a bit of a lull. Well, I guess there's not a bit of a lull here. We've got Contrarian in this base. Oh, and he's right into the Dunamai's probe line while his Zealots are going to distract this army right here. And those 2 Stalkers aren't going to be enough to stop the carnage. I'm sorry, and they do have 1 armor upgrade, but doesn't do them any good when they're dead. And still, these Zealots are alive, and these Immortals are trying to take them out. So they say, "Hey, we want to shoot the Stalkers. We're so much better at Stalkers. Let's do Stalkers. Look. Let me show you how you do Stalkers." But nope, the Stalkers are not going to give them the chance. Now that was a perfect bailout, I think, right there. He picked the right time to leave. And did he have a Nexus here that got killed, or did he just send all his probes here and hasn't built it yet? I'm not really sure. So now we've hit a bit of a lull again. Oh, no, we do have a battle going. Actually, let me back up. I don't want to miss that battle, because that looks like it was important. So let's back up here for a second. Oh, yeah, here we go. Mass Zealot Archon, couple of Stalkers thrown in, a bit irrelevant. They're even charged off, and you look at them go crazy. They're just all over this base in no time. And they are 1-1-1. And I see this coming, and I'm like, what do you do against this? I mean, if you get a bunch of Zealots, then the Archons are going to chew it up. If you get a bunch of Stalkers, the Zealots are going to chew it up. I just didn't really know what the counter was to this, so I'm just saying, please build units. And Contrarian's expansion goes down. Looks like all of our whole staging area is absolutely destroyed. I got some Stalkers back here. I'd probably warp them in from this pylon, but they are not going to last long, because those Archons are still completely alive. Stalkers apparently do absolutely squat against Archons, at least in these numbers. Spartan's trying to warp in a desperation army before he loses his expansion. Looks like I've got a bunch of Stalkers. I don't know where those came from. Was there somewhere else on the map, or I just warped them in, or what? We'll finally take care of these Archons here. The armies are not grouped up that well, and now we'll take care of these Stalkers, which is something I can do something about. And oh, we got a Psystorm here. I don't know whose Psystorm it was, but I don't see any Templar right now. And again, this Immortal's not really doing anything either, but we are thinning it out. Here comes some Stalkers from Contrarian. That should be enough to clean this up. We took a lot of casualties. We checked the units lost, and wow, it's kind of hard to tell now. It looks like Spartan and I still haven't lost that much, but everyone else has been pretty well devastated. Whew. So a bit of craziness right there. We did fend it off. I've got an expansion up, doing absolutely nothing with it, but we did have an attack to take care of, and now it's time to rebuild. I'm getting a bunch of Zealots, not sure why. And I'm desperate to counter because one thing I was thinking right now was that was a massive army we deflected, and that means they can't have much left back at home. In fact, let's look at what they've got. Stalker Colossus, 4 Immortals, 7 Stalkers, 2 Archons, 4 Zealots, and 3 Stalkers, and 12 High Templar. Well, their army's basically held up in these Templar right now. So they can't, I didn't think they have much. They really don't. I don't know how much we have. We got quite a few Stalkers, though. A couple of Dark Templar, a lot of Zealots. So I think we have the superior army right now, just by a little. But, you know, he could have used something other than making these all Templar. I guess you can make them all Archons, which apparently is free. Back in the day, I think at least creating an Archon at least cost you food. I don't remember if it cost you resources. But now we are staging in the center. Check the army size, 290-ish to about 2. I think we have double the army of them right now. So yeah, I guess we have the better army. Wolfpack's got a couple of Archons sitting here at the rubble pile. I'm not sure what they're doing. My Stalkers are gonna take a few shots, which is probably a really bad idea. Well, we'll keep them distracted. Moving in here, I believe, yeah, I do have an observer up there. I actually built a robo facility here, so I actually had that to build an observer. And here come the High Templar, and here comes the storms, and I was ready for it, so I'm going to blink out of that, but I'm going to walk right back into it again. And looks like these Stalkers are on cooldown, so they can't blink out of it, but they can't have many. Well, there's more storms. It's all him, mostly hitting Contrarian's Stalkers. Mine mostly did okay there. Got another Colossus from Dunamai. I've got to get that thing focused down, and he's got really nowhere to run. Well, he's trying to run, but he does not make it. And now we are in his probe line once again. I think that will be it for his probe line. And here comes some massive reinforcements right now. But they don't really have an army right now. Check the army size. They are now at 100, just about 100. And quickly dwindling. And they got producing cannons now. I don't think cannons are going to do it. They need to produce units. Oh, I'm getting immortal. And Mike is going to give the GG. Whoa, watch out for that pit. That is a really deep pit. You do not want to fall in there. I don't even think an immortal could survive that fall with full shields. And there's more. Well, those are GGs back from us. We're waiting for the other two guys to give the GG because I think they are done. So that was quite an exciting back and forth game. Lots of counterattacks, lots of backdoor stuff, all sorts of different units. No air this game. It's unusual. These guys love to get their Protoss air. I rarely get Protoss air, but these guys love it. And there's the GG from Dunamai. He knows when a hard-fought battle is done. And the Wolfpack is going to give the last GG. So I hope you enjoyed that all Protoss insanity, and have a day.